Great.
Welcome everybody. Wednesday, August 18th, the Checkered Flag Talk Show, episode 23, episode 2 at UBC TV, Channel 3. We apologize, we're not live tonight, but that's okay. We have all kinds of prizes being given away, courtesy of Airport Auto Brokers late models, and Bob Cook as well. We have our guest we have in the studio is none other than Katie Miller. She races a Bomber, number 84, and 55 Jammer. We'll get to her in just a little bit. But I'm your host, Ace Naylor, announcer for auto racing, and Johnny, the flagman and starter. That takes guff from nobody. Yeah. on the racetrack that sends people home when they act up.
Well, no, I send them back to the pits.
You send them back to the pits,
but
they decide to go home because they're mad.
Yeah, if they want to take things matters in their own hands, then that's what happens.
Of course, you can also catch us. When you guys are watching us on here right now is Ustream. www.ustream.tv, spelled USTREAM.tv/channel/checkered flag. Replays can also be shown on Channel 8, and of course, an hour from now, you'll be able to watch the replay on Channel 3. For those of you who are watching us on Ustream that are in Ukiah, you'll be able to watch us on Channel 3, but that's not until the top of the hour. So wanted to get back to some of the topics I was talking about. We had a great race this weekend. The Airport Auto Brokers late models were here, delivered an awesome race, 75 laps. You know, had a couple of benders, but nothing too out of the ordinary, except for the off-course car, the 05 that went into the infield. And you know, let's just say that the officials out there defied the laws of gravity when that car came in.
That was pretty scary.
Yes, it was scary. I thought somebody was going to get hit, but you know what? It didn't happen. And everything's okay. So, like I said, you know, they delivered a great race. The fan rides were awesome. The number 11 Bob Strauss modified, Mighty Mouse Bob Strauss, we got to ride in his. And I've got, and we're gonna, I don't know where we're gonna be posting it. I don't know if our producer, executive producer Terry Larson's around at the moment, but we're gonna be playing that somewhere somehow. It's the video of myself actually getting in the car and then getting out of the car. I got to ride in the number 11 modified, which was really awesome, man.
What did you think?
Exhilarating.
Yes.
You know, when I first got in, I was nervous. I was a little scared, but I don't know what happened. I think the adrenaline kicked in because once I got into the number 11 modified, at first I was like a little scared. But once I got in and he hit the gas in the straight stretch, I couldn't get enough. Well, you saw me, didn't you? I kept going. I kept going like that when I was going by. I seen you looking at me. You were going like this to see if I was okay.
It's a lot of fun.
And no, it was a lot of fun. And you used to race a modified for a minute yourself.
I won a couple races there in Ukiah Speedway.
Wow.
It's definitely an interesting racetrack compared to what Lakeport's like.
Why did you
we'll let Katie tell us a little bit about that later. We'll get back to that in a minute. We need to get to the guest of the hour. Katie Miller is our guest. Number 84 Bomber. Also drives the number 55 Jammer. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's our points leader, too, at Lakeport Speedway.
Are you points leader in the Jammer right now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you might want to speak up just a little bit louder. It's okay. You can be loud.
Okay.
So kind of like you are when you, just think about how you are when you're around your friends and you're partying or having fun. You can do that right here on the Checkered Flag.
Better not be partying.
Well, not partying. You know what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Clean partying. I don't mean that. I would hope that her version of partying is not our version of partying. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make that clear. So give us a little history lesson on how you got started into the wonderful world of racing.
Okay, well, I remember that when I was 9, I went to my first race, and it was a drag racing. And when I first saw it, I was like, I want to do that. And so I found out that you had to be 16 to do it because you need a license. And so I waited until I was 16, or was trying to wait until I was 16, and then 2 years ago I got introduced to circle track racing, and I don't know, ever since then I just kind of fell in love with it and got into it.
Right on. So, you know, we've interviewed quite a few different young people on our show, and one of the things that we ask is, you know, what hold does racing have over somebody your age? You know, most people your age are out, you know, having, not to say you don't, but are out would rather be out having fun with their friends or school and and other stuff. I mean, what is it that racing has, for somebody your age, the whole racing has for somebody your age to get behind the wheel?
Well, it is a little difficult, like having to juggle with school and racing at the same time and trying to see your friends and all, but I think I enjoy it a lot, and my friends understand it too and see how much I enjoy it. So, but people my age getting into it, I know like a lot of people want to become something with it, and because they have so much talent with it, and I don't know, when you're young, you kind of just like, that's where you start, and so that's why a lot of people, I think, my age are getting into it.
Right on. How about you, Johnny? You got some questions for the girl?
Sure. How many years you been racing?
A year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
And you're a points leader, and
Yep.
tell me about the go-kart.
Oh, she raced a go-kart?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually kind of difficult because I'm so used to asphalt, and then when you're kind of like sliding on the dirt, it's a lot, like I said, a lot different. And so, but I'm kind of taking like one step at a time and trying to learn how to drive it and like getting used to the cart and everything.
Physically harder? Beating you?
Yeah, a
Reps,
little bit.
props?
Yeah.
How'd you do last weekend?
Well, I was like, yeah.
You flipped.
No, I didn't flip, but I got 3 flat tires in the main event. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I saw that,
That must have been
I
your
saw that
big
on your Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, she put the post on her Facebook about the 3 flat tires. Well, it couldn't have been during the bomber race because she actually did really good. I'm proud of her. She did, during the bomber race,
She's doing.
she started out, you know what? They started her up front, and she stayed up front for some time. She did. She stayed up front for, I think, more than 11 laps that I can count. 11 or 12 laps.
Half the race, you were pretty much.
Half the race, she pretty much dominated up front. So, she definitely is really, I could see really the effort out there, and I could see definitely something happening
What's
for
the
her.
pressure like? That pressure of leading the race. Did that pressure get to you finally, you think, or? 'Cause like I said, watching you race a little bit, especially like in the heat race, when you led the heat race for so many laps, and then you kind of fell back a little bit. When you fell back a little bit, I noticed that you raced a whole lot better line after you got back there. So I think that probably the pressure. I mean, I know the pressure was hard on me at times.
Yeah.
You're leading the whole pack down there, and of course they're coming. The faster cars are coming, so you're trying to change things to make yourself go faster. And
Yeah.
So Johnny mentioning pressure was kind of my next question. So how did what does it feel like for you? Was there a lot of pressure knowing that you had a whole pack of cars behind you to fend off? Because there was 13 other cars behind you to fend off. How was that?
Well, in the jammer, I'm usually up front, but
Right.
like in front of everybody, so it's not too much pressure. But in the beginning of the year, it was a lot of pressure because, I didn't expect to be the points leader in the jammer division, and after a while, like after winning a couple of races, I kind of got used to it. But in the bomber, it's kind of the same, but it's, I think, a lot more difficult because in the bomber you have to be like on top of the wheel more than in
Right.
the jammer. So yeah, it is pretty pressure, pretty full of pressure. Yeah.
So that was kind of my next question for those who are watching, that may not know what a bomber or jammer is. Let's start with your jammer and talk about what exactly a jammer is, and that kind of stuff. Do you know what kind of car it is, what engine type, and
Well, I know that the jammers, you can just take kind of any car off the street, and you have to keep it stock, and it's more of like a division for people getting into racing and just starting and like maybe wanting to excel into something like higher. But it's just a 4-cylinder car with a 4-point roll cage in it, and it's just something fun to do and like play around in with. So.
Right on. And for those of you who are watching via Ustream, of course, you can call in 707-320-1965. Want to call in and ask Katie questions. Again, that's 707-320-1965. And at the end of this interview, we got some prizes to give away. We got 3 tickets to this weekend's Ukiah Speedway race, and courtesy of Airport Auto Brokers late models. And we have some lovely T-shirts and hats to give away too. So kind of do a little zoom in on those. Those are the hat and T-shirts there to give away. So again, the number is 320-1965-707. And for those of you who are actually watching, who are going to watch in the in the next hour when we play the replay, we're gonna. I'll make sure that I stay here and we have somebody stay by the phone so that we can actually answer the phone and you can actually get your prize and all that. So we'll continue with her thing here. So I understand that there's a junior jammers and there's pro jammers.
Yes.
Can you tell us the difference between a junior jammer and a pro jammer?
Well, the juniors are more of like people who are just starting and the kids and just starting how to drive. And some of them actually just came out of go-karts. So if they want to start racing asphalt, they want to be in the juniors. And then the pros are kind of like the older people that might have some experience in racing or just like are good at driving and that like want to give the kids more of a chance so they be in the pros.
Right on. I got some questions for Johnny. I'm gonna go over to the Facebook here real quick and make sure everybody knows to go in the chat room. So
how many points races do you have left at Lakeport?
1, and that's this weekend.
And that's one. And how many points in the lead are you?
17.
17 points. So you basically just got to take the green flag in the main, and you.
If there's 6 cars, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm still gonna try. So.
Oh yeah.
And also, the difference this weekend is that instead of going left, we're turning right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you done that yet?
I did at Shasta in the Bomber once, but it's a lot different. Like getting like on the driver's side, close to the wall. But I'm actually kind of excited about it. So. Yeah.
So what's your favorite racetrack?
Well, I've been to 4 up north, and that's Lakeport, Ukiah, Shasta, and Eureka. But I don't know. It's kind of difficult because I like them all, and like they both kind of have like their like
unique. Different.
Yeah, like they're like both or they're all unique, and but I actually really like Lakeport because it's kind of where I started out, and yeah, I'm just really good at there in the jammer, and like I like Ukiah for the bomber because I do good in there in that.
Right.
So.
Did you like the speeds at Eureka?
Oh yeah, it was a lot different. You go a lot faster on the straightaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to. Go ahead, Johnny. Ask her now. I'm trying to get the word out because we don't have anybody in our chat room at the moment, and so with our time changes and everything, made it kind of difficult. So.
I think I'm asking most of these questions. I'm looking down the list here. So what is your plans in racing? Do you plan just to race the bomber this year, or are you plan on moving up or moving anything different? The jammer, you still going to race next year, or?
Well, I'm gonna finish out the year in the jammer and the bomber both, and then next year I'm probably just going to get a Camaro for the bomber, hopefully, and race that full time.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll know what we have. We have plenty more questions for her.
So that's your plans for next year then?
Yeah.
Is to do that?
Yeah.
That was our producer Terry whispering in my ear here. So now let's talk about your bomber. Actually, your number 84 bomber. And explain what kind of car that is and what a bomber is for those who don't know.
Oh, okay. A bomber. I don't really know it as much as the jammer, but they're a lot bigger and faster. And mine is, I think, an 82 Monte Carlo. So, yeah, they just have like a lot more power than the jammers.
Because the jammer's a 4-cylinder race car or 4-cylinder car, and then the modified or the bomber is not supposed to be modified, but somewhat a V8.
Yeah.
A lot more power.
Yeah.
All right, on. So, talk about your bomber. First I want to ask you what's the easiest to race, the bomber or the jammer? Which one do you find easiest to race out of the two?
Well, I know a lot of people think jammers are just like get in and floor it all the way around, but it's actually a lot more difficult than that. Like in both cars you have to be on top of the wheel, but in the bomber you actually have to be more on top of the wheel because you're going faster, and you have to brake a lot more, and like I drive different lines in both of them, so yeah, but I don't know, it's bigger and stuff, and like I feel like you can kind of bump more, and if you bump you'll have more like control, because in the jammer it's front or rear wheel drive? Front wheel drive. So it's when you get hit, it's kind of like you're out of control, but so yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty, it's a pretty long car. So I mean, do you find it difficult to maneuver? You know,